Welcome back to Naive Speech Mode. This is not your regular podcast where we dance around topics or sugarcoat the truth. Nah, over here, we talk it how it is. Today's episode is going to be heavy, real, and necessary. And before we get into today's episode, let me make this clear. The views and opinion expressed on Naive Speech Mode are my own. They don't reflect the views of my employers, my university, or any organizations I am affiliated with. We are going to unpack the situation with Charlie Kirk. His death made headlines. His supporters are crying out, and people like me, people from the communities he's disrespected, mocked, and tried to silence, we got something different to say. And let me clear this up at the jump, because I already know how some of y'all move online. No, I did not celebrate his death. No, I'm not about to mourn a man who weaponized his platform against Black people, against the LGBTQIA community, and against folks with disabilities. If that rubs you the wrong way, then stay tuned, because you'll need to hear this the most. Charlie Kirk wasn't just some random guy with bad takes. He was a man with power, influence, and a microphone that reached millions. And he used that influence to spread hate. Let's not act brand new. Let's not pretend that he was misunderstood. He called Black Lives Matter a terrorist group. He encouraged voter suppressions targeting Black and brown communities. He ridiculed trans people, calling them mentally ill. He downplays violence against us. And he regularly mocked people with disability, reducing them to weak links. When you have that big of a platform, you are not just speaking, you are planting seeds. Seeds of hate, seeds of division, seeds that sprout into real-world violence. So, when people ask, why do you not have sympathy? Why aren't you mourning? My answer is simple. Sympathy was never extended to us, not once. Here's what gets me. Every single time a racist public figure dies, we are expected to shut up, to stay respectful, to play the mourner at their funeral. But let a Black leader die, let a trans person be murdered, let somebody with disability be mocked online until the spiral. Suddenly, the world doesn't stop. There's no call for compassion. There's no demand for silence. Why is it always us, the communities that is most harmed, to be told to be quiet? Why is it always respect the dead, but the dead never respected us in life? I am not going to play into that. I am not going to sugarcoat my words. Charlie Kirk's legacy is not compassion. His legacy is harm. I have seen people asking, was his wife and kids at the shooting when he died? The answer is no. That rumor was false. His family was never there. But here's what was true. Charlie Kirk's words left scars. His legacy isn't about his last day alive. It is about the years he spent dragging communities like mine through the mud. Let me give you receipts, because I know y'all just don't like talk. On Black folks, he consistently said systemic racism does not exist. On LGBTQIA plus people, he has called gender-affirming care child abuse. On disability, he has said people with disabilities should not burden society. These weren't one-off slips. This was his brand. So, let's be so for real. If you build your brand on hate, don't expect flowers when you are gone. Now let's zoom out. This isn't just about Charlie Kirk, the person. This is about culture that's allowed Charlie Kirk to thrive. And why do people like him get so much airtime? Why do networks continue to book them and keep them platformed where they're literally spreading hate into the mic because controversy sells. Hate sells. Division keeps people tuned in, and while they profit off of that division, it is people like me, my family, my community who pays the price. And this is why I talk bold. This is why I can't stay quiet, because silence doesn't protect us. Silence just protects them. Now, I already know some of you are screaming, but freedom of speech, let's get this straight. Freedom of speech protects you from the government jailing you for your words. It does not protect you from accountability. It does not protect you from criticism. It does not make you immune to people calling you out on your racism, your homophobia, and your ableism. And let's be real, his freedom of speech was never in danger. He had one of the most loudest microphones in this country. And the issue wasn't freedom of speech. The issue was the harm that came from said speech. Now, listen, I am not made of stone. I can acknowledge that Charlie Kirk had a family who is hurting. They lost a husband, a father, a loved one. I don't take joy in their pain, but there's a difference between sympathy for grieving family and rewriting the legacy of a man who made it his mission to attack minds in my community. And that's where the line is. I don't have to dance on his grave, but I don't have to mourn him either. Here's the real question. What do we do moving forward? Because another Charlie Kirk will rise up. There was always somebody ready to pick up the mic and carry on that hate. What we do is simple. We keep calling it out. We don't let them rewrite history. We don't let the narrative get twisted into, oh, he was just misunderstood. Nah. We keep the receipts and we tell the truth. Because the truth is how we protect ourselves. The truth is how we fight back. The truth is how we make sure our kids and our communities don't keep on getting dragged through the same cycle. So no, I didn't celebrate Charlie's death. My mouth is not going to mourn him either. What I'm going to do is stay bold, stay vocal, and keep telling the truth about who he was and what he stood for. Because silence was never an option. And before I close, let me make myself abundantly clear. The views and the opinions expressed on Naive Speech Mode are my own. They do not reflect the views of my employers, my university, or any organizations I am affiliated with. That is today's episode. I want to say thank you for walking with me, and thank you for standing in truth. And remember, if I could be the brain tumor, what makes you think I am going to let life beat me? Until next time, keep speaking bold.